हेलो एवरीबॉडी। अगर आप फाइनेंशियल फ्रीडम चाहते हैं, अगर आप वेल्थ क्रिएट करना चाहते हैं, यू हैव कम टू द राइट प्लेस। आप सही जगह पे आए। वेलकम टू फाइनेंशियल फ्रीडम विद प्लैनेट वेल्थ यूट्यूब एंड पॉडकास्ट चैनल। यूट्यूब एंड पॉडकास्ट चैनल में आपका एक बार स्वागत है। ये जो म्यूचुअल फंड एनालिटिक्स की सीरीज मैंने शुरू की है, उसमें आज हम बात करने वाले हैं लार्ज एंड मिड कैप कैटेगरी के एक कंसिस्टेंट परफॉर्मिंग फंड मिरे एसेट इमर्जिंग ब्लू चिप के ऊपर। माई सेल्फ इज ब्रिजेश परिक. I am a father of two lovely kids, husband to a loving woman. I'm an edupreneur, now turned into a well coach. I'm on a mission to help 1 lakh families like yours to live a financially worry-free life and achieve financial freedom during your life. तो मेरे इसी मिशन को आगे बढ़ाते हुए आज के जो ये एपिसोड है, उसमें हम बात करने वाले हैं मेरे एसेट इमर्जिंग ब्लू चिप फंड। चलिए देखते हैं कि आपके पोर्टफोलियो में ये फंड आपके लिए सही है या नहीं, उसके बारे में उसकी डिटेल जानते हैं। लेट्स जंप ऑन टू द एनालिटिक्स। तो investment strategy of Mirae Asset Blue Chip Fund is, it is basically, as I said earlier, it is a large and mid cap category fund. So Mirae Asset Emerging Blue Chip Fund by its category is mandated to invest minimum 35% of its assets into stocks of large cap companies, along with simultaneous investment of 35%, minimum 35% into mid cap companies. So Mirae Asset Emerging Equity Blue Chip Fund's inclination is more towards large cap stocks that accounts for around 55% or more of its assets. The fund's flexibility to invest in larger mid-cap stocks and large cap provides additional stability to the fund during extreme market conditions. While picking stocks for the portfolio, the fund aims to hold a well-diversified portfolio without having any bias towards any particular theme, sector, or style. The fund follows a mix of top-down and bottoms-up approach of investing. The fund management invests in stocks of high-growth companies likely to benefit from macroeconomic, sectoral, and industry trends. The fund looks for long-term investment opportunities in stocks of high-quality businesses that are available at reasonable price. So you can say that they are following growth at reasonable price GARP strategy as well. It follows buy and hold investment strategy to derive the full potential of stocks. Notably, the turnover ratio of the fund has ranged between 75% to 95%. Now let's look at the trailing return. You can see that even a 7-year horizon, since it is a direct fund, this data is of direct fund. So direct fund started in 2013, so only 7 years data is available, no 10-year data is available. You can see that over a period of 7 year, 5 year, 3 years, 1 year, and even 6 months, it has beaten its benchmark, which is S&P BSE large mid cap TRI and the category equity large and mid cap category funds averages. So you can see that it's consistently beating both its comparison things, its benchmark index as well as category index. If we compare the peer comparison, so you would realize that over a period of time, it is consistently being amongst the top performing fund in its category. If you take 5 years, it is amongst the top. If we take 3 years, it is also among the top. If we take 1 year, again performing almost better than all the funds. So that way, it is consistently giving the returns to the investors. We look at the volatility, that is best and worst performing period of the funds. On a weekly basis, its best performance was 9.98 during the 24 March 2020 to 31st March 2020, and worst performance was minus 18.46 during 16 March 2020 to 23 March 2020. On a monthly basis, the fund's best performance was 22.26 percentage during 23 March 2020 to 22nd April 2020, and worst performance was minus 36.77 during 20 February 2020 to 23 March 2020. On a quarterly basis, its best performance was 37.49 percentage during 23 March 2020 to 22nd June 2020, and worst performance was minus 34.11 during 23 December 2019 to 23 March 2020. On a yearly basis, its best performance was 111.01% during 23 March 2020 to 23 March 2021, and bus performance for on a yearly basis was minus 27.40 during 22nd March 2019 to 23 March 2020. So this based in bus performance gives you a picture of the fund's volatility. Now let's look at the ratio. Standard deviation. Standard deviation is basically the fund's volatility as compared to its benchmark. The low standard deviation means the fund is better predictable, and higher standard deviation means funds are not more predictable. So you can see that the fund's volatility standard deviation is way more than the category average. That is large and mid cap fund जो category है उससे fund का जो standard deviation is higher than, so which means the fund is relatively less predictable as compared to the category. If you look at the beta is funds volatility as compared to its category average, right? So if we compare it with the category average, the volatility is beta is also higher as compared to the category average. The category's beta is 0.71, whereas the fund's beta is 0.99. So from these two ratios, we can say that fund is relatively volatile fund. If we compare the Sharpe ratio, Sharpe ratio is basically a ratio which indicates how much risk was taken to generate the return. So, which means the lower the Sharpe ratio, the better the fund. So here you can see that the category average is 0.64%, whereas the fund Sharpe ratio is 1.12%, which means the fund has delivered a decent return, but at the same time it has taken higher risk as compared to its category averages. So the fund is more suitable for high risk taking investors. It's an indication of that. Reynolds ratio. If we compare that, what is the risk-adjusted returns, right? So you can say that the category average is 0.12, whereas the Reynolds ratio of the fund is 0.19. So which means the risk-adjusted return is lower as compared to the other category funds average. And Jensen's alpha, which is the fund's performance, funds return over and above the category, over and above the benchmark return, which is an alpha. So you can see that the alpha of category average is 1.77, whereas the alpha of the fund is 5.54%, which means the fund has given 5.54% more return as compared to its benchmark. So you can see that since it has taken higher risk, it has delivered the higher return as well. So these are the various ratios. Now let's look at the portfolio. The portfolio turnover ratio is 81% as on 30th June 2021. The category average turnover ratio is 146.24%. So we can see that turnover ratio is lower as compared to the category average. So which means the fund manager held stocks and bonds in the portfolio for longer duration than the peers, right? The number of stocks of this scheme is 62%, which is higher than the category average, whereas category is having 54.18 average stocks. Top 5 stock weightage is 25.32%, whereas the category average is 28.01%. Top 10 stock weightage is 37.87, whereas the category average is 44.27. And top 3 sector weightage is 40.21, whereas the category average is 4.09. So equity holding is around 98.7%. Total 98.7%. The rest is in the cash. Number of stock is 62. Large cap investments is 46.12%. Mid cap is 29.56, and small cap is 10.37, whereas others are 12.62. So this is the breakup of portfolio, right? So you can see since the mid cap investment is 29.56%, because of that the fund is delivering the better return. Top 10 holding, if you look at the top 10 holding as on 30th June 2021, ICICI Bank is 6.1%, and the 1 month change is minus 0.037%. 1 year holding, highest holding is 6.56%. HDFC Bank 5.95%, Infosys 5.14%, Axis Bank 4.49%, State Bank of India 3.57%, Bharti Airtel 2.7%, Tata Consultancy 2.68%, Tata Steel 2.41%, JK Cement 2.39%, and Gujarat State Petronet 2.37%. So this is the top holding, top 10 stocks in the portfolio. Now, suitability, which the fund is suitable for which kind of investors. So, Mirae Asset Emerging Bluechip Fund is a process-driven fund and has been agile enough to take advantage of various investment opportunities present in the mid-cap as well as large-cap segment. It aims to invest in growth-oriented stock with an eye on valuation. MAEBF does not resort to take aggressive calls but maintains a diversified portfolio of quality stocks. This strategy of the fund house has enabled it to perform consistently across market cycles while keeping the overall risk low. The fund has an experienced fund manager, Mr. Nilesh Surana, who has been at the helm of affairs since the inception of the fund, and he has been very successful in steering the fund out of rough market situations. The aggressive investment mandate, along with higher allocation to mid and small caps, makes the fund suitable for investors with high risk appetite, looking to in a reliable fund capable of creating decent wealth for its investors. So, uh, if you are an aggressive investor and wanted to take higher risk in order to earn higher returns, this fund is more suitable for you. It also gives this downside protection since it's a large and mid cap fund. So this is the basic analytics of the Mirae Asset Emerging Blue Chip Fund. I hope this small video on the fund would be able to help you to decide whether you should invest into these Mirae Asset Emerging Blue Chip Fund or not. If you wish to keep focus on keeping and growing your money, you can subscribe to my YouTube channel and click on the bell icon to receive update notification. You can also read my blogs at planetwealth.in or blog.planetwealth.in. There are videos also on that blog. There is an excellent third-party personal financial literacy, mutual fund literacy website, moneycraft.com. I've got a Facebook page, Planet Wealth. You can like that page so that you keep on receiving updates, this kind of financial literacy updates through that page. There is also a Facebook group, Financial Wellbeing. You can become a member of that fund. And the best way to get connected and receive this kind of update is to store my WhatsApp number 93281 90022 as Planet Wealth in your mobile, and then send a WhatsApp message, add me, आपका नाम लिख के भेज दीजिए मुझे, so that I'll be adding your number into my financial literacy broadcast group of WhatsApp. Don't forget to save my number. If you will not save my number, you will not receive my broadcast messages, because WhatsApp only sends the broadcast messages if you have the number stored in your mobile, right? So keep growing your money, achieve financial freedom. May God shower abundant wealth to you. Thank you for watching this video, और मिलते हैं अगले वीडियो में.